I hope you all completed your quiz. My name is Visalakshi and I go by Visa. Miss Nadhiya is not able to join today, so I will be your host and instructor for today. I work for Bank of America and I'm a data analyst and all kinds of analysis. So that's about my background. Further ado, let's do the class. So we are going to we are in session 5 and what we are going to see is like last week worked on the function and now we are going to continue we are going to continue about continue the functions and the error handling. And anyone want to recap what we did last time? Any volunteers? We want to recap what
we learned about functions.
Functions, okay.
How to define them and call them.
How to define them and call them. Defining function is separate from calling them. Okay, then we pass the parameters, right? We pass the values and we got the returns. So we all talked about the functions. Those functions are created by you. The user can create and they can, why are we using functions? So we can separate the big code into smaller chunks. That's why we are using the functions. And with the functions, we can assign the task to different people, and it will help in team collaboration. So that is why we were using function, and it is easy to debug if there is any issues. And we also learned about the local variables and the global variables, right? Last week. So this week, what we are going to learn is about the standard library function. I have seen like the people already people are using this standard library function in their homework, and that's up to you. You are ahead of the class. But since for the other people who are not who don't know about functions, library functions. I'm going to talk.
I cannot hear you clearly.
Oh, you cannot hear. Oh, you cannot hear me.
Your voice keeps going in and out.
Oh. Can you hear now? How about now?
Yes, it is much better. Thank you.
Better? Okay. So I will continue. So what I was saying is we are going to explore the standard library functions. So when you go to library, what you do? You all go to library in your schools, in your public library. What do you do? What is the purpose of going to library and what you do?
Borrow some books.
Borrow some books, okay. That's good.
To read.
To read, yeah. So what we are going to, in Python, we have the library functions in all the language, and Python has an extensive library function. So what we are going to have here is like, there are a lot of built-in functions that is available to Python. And as you go to library, you're going to check out the book, right? You're going to do the checkout process to get the book, to borrow the book. Here, same thing, what you're going to do is you're going to import it. Okay? So you need to import the library to Python in order to use it. And yeah, I'm going to show you the library list. It is from the Python um, document. So these are the libraries that are available to you. The link is already in the PowerPoint that I'm going to send. And for today's class, we will be concentrating on reading function, math function, and random function. But we have a lot of libraries. So if you're curious, just go here to this website, and you can go read about all about your libraries that are available to you. Okay. Class now. So we are going to use the library, and in order to use the library, you need, like you are checking out the book, you need to import to collab or import to it the IDE, but whatever IDE you are going to use, you're going to import. Let's talk about this. So people refer to this functions, library function as a black, because what we see is we just see the input and the output. We don't know what is happening behind the scenes. That's why we call this functions as the library functions as a black box. So let's say if you're going to um, LA for other code, what you're going to do is you're going to give the input and you're going to ask the program to do what operation needs to be done. It's asking whether it is going to be like are you going to is it okay now? Is my voice is okay?
It's still cutting out a little bit.
Cutting out.
It's just going little low and then high, and then sometimes it's just like I can't hear you.
So go closer and let's see. So the black box is like we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. That's why we are calling it as the black box. Okay. So we just give the input and we will just get out. Okay. So let's dive into first function, the math function. So can I ask you a question? What level are you in math in your school?
Could you repeat the question?
What level are you in math in the school?
I'm in geometry.
Geometry, okay. Algebra, okay. Portrait, algebra, okay. I'm getting
Geometry.
okay. So you know a lot of functions. You use a lot of math formulas, right? So, but in Python there is a built-in library for the math function. For doing the math function, you need to import the math. And after importing the math, you can use the functions that is available to you. Let's go to the collab and let's see. Okay, so I suggest you to import it first because first you need to import it, then it will give you all the options that are available. So I highly suggest you to import it first, then go ahead and or call it. Okay, so let's do that. Import. Okay. After importing math, what you can do is you can get all the functions, whatever the functions that are available, and we can go ahead and see that. So I'm going to say my num1 is equal to. So I'm going to, so when you're importing math, you're going to call the math again. See, first I imported and again I'm going to call math in our math module in order to get all the items within the math module. So I'm going to see math dot. When I type it the dot, it is giving me all the options available to me. Give me a moment. Can you see now? Is it good?
Yes, it's much better.
Okay. So first you're going to import math, and then I'm going to say num1 is equal to math. I'm going to call it again. So the module, math module is going to be here. So I want to know what are the options available to me. So if I type in dot, it is going to give all the options available to me. See? Can you see all the options? If you're in trade, you might have a, yeah, you know about cos, sine, and tan, right? And the ceiling is what is when you're rounding up, you will be using the C function, and copy sign, it is you're copying the sign of the what is the sign of the I sign of the variable you are using. And so we have multiple math functions. See, can you all see in your collab? Can you try this one? If you're not able to see collab, let me know. Can you all do can you all type import math and type some variable, and you're going to call the math module, and you're going to get something like this. You're not able to see all the options? Okay. So what that's also you need to, so let's say if you're not able to see the options, let's say you're going to just import math and run it first. Then go ahead and do this one, okay? Equal to or then it will come. Are you able to see now? Can you try this? First import math and run it, then go ahead and try to type this.
It's working now.
It is working? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So right now, I want to see know the GCD of certain numbers. I'm going to choose GCD, and I'm going to, okay, I want the GCD of 2, 6, 8. Okay. And I'm going to print it. Print num1. So let's see. Okay, it is not. So if you look at that, or GCD, it is expecting 2. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to run it again. See, my GCD is here. Okay, so you can have all your math, like when you after importing the math module, you have access to all the math functions available. Okay, any questions so far?
Yeah, will it always just accept 2 arguments?
Not sure. Let's see. Let's see what's happening in this one. And if you have questions, like we can go ahead and get this one. One moment. Here. List. Okay, so we are in math. See, we are in math function. So we are in math. And then you're going for the GCD, right? The GCD. So it is giving, yeah, it is just only formally only 2 arguments were supported. See, you have, if you're going for a new version, then it will support multiple arguments. Right now, I'm using an old version, and it is only supporting 2 arguments.
Okay, thank you.
Got it?
Yeah.
So new versions are giving you like so if you want, let's say you want for multiple items, then you may need to divide your number, like you need to slice your number into multiple chunks, then you may get that one. So I highly recommend you to read this link that give you all the information about the functions, math functions. Okay, let's go back. So we are in math. Right? So what else you want to do? Do you want to try other math functions? functions that you are using in your regular work, regular school, and try to do some math. Can I give you 1 or 2 more minutes? If you want to explore it and give me like what you tried and what you got.
Okay.
All of you try importing the math function and try to work on any math function you've seen like you want to work on. Let me ping you the link for this one so you have it here. This here. So this is where yeah. I pinged this dog in the chat. Can you all try to do 1 or 2 math functions and tell me what you have tried and what is the output? Oh, you cannot see? Uh, okay, 1 moment. Let me, can you see now? That in the chat, okay. Yeah, try this document and choose any function that you may like and whatever that you learned recently and try that. Did you all try?
Yes.
What did you try and what was the output? What math function did you try?
I tried the factorial of 4 and I got 24.
Oh, factorial of 4. That's good. Okay. Factorial is equal to math. Factorial. So for 4, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to print. So what else? Yeah, put your output in the chat for everyone, so everyone can see. So everyone, I see one from Shravya. Can you send to everyone? Russia, can you send to everyone so everyone can see your input and output? Yeah, that's good. Can see multiple options that you're using. Good. Are you good with the math function? Shall we move to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back. So we explore the math function. Next function we are going to explore is the random function. I hope all you enjoy playing games and other games, random games. So for it, the random number is or random is a weight function that is used in the gaming industry or it is used in wherever you did you all attend the last week's our triangular talk session? The doctor talked about how how they are using statistics in order to do the drug development. So the statistics and the random function has multiple use in the statistics, and it has the multiple applications in the gaming industry or any other random a lot. So let's work on the random function. Okay, what is a random function? Um, uh, so what will the random function be? Any idea?
Generates a random number.
Generate random number. Why do you need to generate a random number? Sometimes you want to test the like you want to choose the participants randomly, so you are giving a fair and equal choice to everyone or chance to everyone. So that's why we'll be using random number. So let's start with the random number. Okay. So first start with the random number. You need to import the random number. Let's go back to Collab and let's do here. So I'm going to import random number. So after importing, I want you to run it. So you have the import random, then you can go ahead and type what you want. Okay. Now I'm going to say and uh, um, is equal to random. So I want rand int. I want so you're going to give the starting point and the ending point. Let's say I want a random number between 1 and 10. I'm going to do that. Okay, so 1, 10. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print or so what will happen here? Can anyone guess what will happen here if I'm going to run it?
It will give you
Generates
either
a
1 or
random
10.
Can you repeat? Can you please repeat?
It generates a random number.
Generate random number, and it is going to generate a random number between 1 and 10 because we are giving the starting value 1 and the ending value 10. Okay, so when I'm going to run, it give me 10. Okay, let's run it again. Now it gives me 8. Okay, so you can generate you can increase this value. Let's say I want to print until 100. It is going to give until 100. So this is the starting value and this is the ending value. And based on that, the random number will be generated. Let's say I'm going to have, I need a random number between 1 and 5. I'm going to just put 1 and 5 and it will be giving a random number between 1 and 5. Any number between 1 and 5. So any questions on this one? Let's say you want a range and you want that with the increment that you can use the rand range. Let's use that. Okay. Range. Every time you need to call your random function. Okay. Range. So when you look at the rand range, when you hover over it, it is going to tell you what the function is going to do. So it is going to tell you like what are the parameters you need to pass. See here. What we are going to do is we are going to start, stop, and the increment. Okay. So let's say I want a number from 1 to 100, and I want an increment of 5. let's say I want an increment of 5. So what will happen now? What kind of random number you will get?
You'll get any number that's divisible by 5.
Let's see. Oh no, no, it's not working right. Oh, yeah. See, yeah, you're right, but I need to call the print function, right? I did not call the print function. A random number is generated, but it is not. Giving the answers. So let's say your value. Let's say let's test it out. Okay, print range number. So it is not giving me a divisible of 5. What is the reason? Can you troubleshoot why we are not getting a divisible of 5? Can anyone point it out?
Maybe because it's going from 1 to 100.
Yes, exactly
200.
right. Exactly. So we are starting with 1 and adding 5 to it. So what it is going to do is it's the starting value is 1. That's why it is not a divisible of 5. So let's say I'm going to change it to 0. Now let's check it. Now we are getting divisible of 5. Okay. So you use this function when you want like the increment, when you want to increment, do the increment, and based on that only you want your random number, then you will use the rand range. Are you all with me? So far you're following this?
Yes.
One question. So
Yes.
rand range, it doesn't include 100, right?
Can you repeat your question?
So when you say if you didn't put the 5 increment, 100, the endpoint, because it's 100 wouldn't be included, right?
Yes. That is the stop value. See, if you look at that, let's do. So I opened it here. So it is going to give you the definition of the rand range. Okay. So you're going to have, let me make this one a little smaller. Can you see all this one? This one rand range. So
Yeah.
the definition is here. So we are going to have the start value and stop value and the step and the int. So this is the integer, right? So rand int will only give you the endpoint, but a rand range will give you a step value. That's why we are using the rand range. That's the difference between rand int and rand range. So you have multiple, if you look at the random, you have a multiple ways to the random. Let's go here again to explore what are the items we have under random. See, we have a lot of random. Like there are a lot of things you can do. Rand range, rand int. So I highly recommend you to just read this and get get familiar with this one. We are not going to use all the functions now. Probably for the next semester, when we are working with Numpy and Panda and data analysis, you'll be using all these functions. Just get familiar with this. For now, you know how to generate a random number. That is what we need now. Okay. Are you good with this one? Shall we move to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So next, let's go back to the next one. The next one is the datetime function. So the datetime function is used in various places. Let's say you want to know what is today's date. Sometimes you want to run a program based on current date, right? So you want to know like how many people are there for current class, for the current session. So you want to know the current date. So the date function has multiple applications. And we can use the date function to get current date, or you can current like you can use it for getting the differences between dates and just get the whether we can check whether it is a weekday or what day it is. Everything we can do using the dating function. So for that, we need to import the dating function. Okay, let me add a code. So we are going to start with import datetime. So as usual, just run it so you will get all the modules. So you already imported, and when you're writing your next line of code, you will get what are the options available. Let's say I'm going to say today daytime, not daytime. Now. So I want now. So I'm going to tab. So what will happen now? If I'm going to print today, what will happen now? So what is going to happen is it is going to get all like whatever it is going to give everything. Now means it is until the seconds it is going to give the value. So let's run it. See, it is going to give me the year, month, date, and the time, and the hours, minute, seconds, microseconds. So it is going to give me everything. But I just want to know what is the year, right? I want to know only the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see here the code. So I'm going to just print the year one. So this is the option. Let's see, print. So it is going to give me the year. So we can do the same thing for month, and we can say same thing for the days. And so let's try that. Okay. Print. See, these are the options you have. You have month, minute. So let's do this month. So do you want, if you want to know the today is Saturday, right? If you want to know what day it is, we are going to use the string function. Okay? String, you have time, and it is going, and then you're going to type in so if you're typing in small letter, it is going to give you just the a partial value of the day. And if yeah, double and if you want if you want the full like full values, you're going to do this. Today dot time, and within the parenthesis and within the single quote, you're going to do percentage capital A. So if you're going to run this, it is going to give the whole value
What
of
is
the day.
percentage A do?
Correct?
What is percentage A do?
So what we are doing is we are adding, so we are getting the string function. So what we are doing is we are getting the function to get the date.
So I can't hear you.
Correct?
I couldn't hear you. We're lagging.
So how about for everyone? Am I lagging or?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, you're lagging.
I'm not sure what's happening. I tried other ways.
because sometimes I can't hear you what you're saying.
Okay,
So
one Let me join us. Give me a moment. Let me join in my phone. I'm going to stop the recording and join in. Give me a few minutes. Let
You
me
should
try
try a
this.
Wi-Fi test, a Wi-Fi speed test, so you could see is it good or not.
Okay. So what we have learned so far is we imported the math function and we imported the random function and the datetime. And we are working on all like how we can parse out the time from the datetime function. And any questions on the datetime function? Any questions you have? Shall we move to the next one then?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you all write a program to generate a random number between 1 and 100 and uh, uh, check, like get a user input and check whether it is the same one. So what we are going to do is we are going to generate a random number between 1 and 100 and we are going to get a user input and check whether the user input is equal to the random number. Can we all do that? So the first thing is what we are going to do is we are going to import random function. Okay. Then what we are going to do is we are going to generate a random number. Okay. Num is equal to random and int 1 to 100. Okay. Then I'm going to get a user input. Okay. Num is equal to, we are asking the user to get the input, like input int enter number. Okay, then what we are going to check is if is equal to one minute, let me fix the code here. U9 and if yes, and wrong number. So let's try this. Okay. So what is happening here? Can you see what's happening here? What's wrong here?
Do we need a colon after? Oh,
I have a
no.
colon here.
You need
So
two equal signs.
two equal to signs because this equal to is assigning operator and this is the checking one. So comparison is this one. Okay, I have still something wrong. What is, yeah, what's happening here? Because this dialogue or this conversation is needed for our next session. That's why I'm doing this one. So what we are doing here? What needs to be done in order to fix this? Any idea here?
Put int in the front and then input inside.
Okay, let's try that. And Okay, now it works. So what we are going to do is we are going to we are going to enter a number. Okay, let's say I'm going to enter number 12. Okay, now it is saying it's wrong number because the random number that guessed is different than 12. So let's say if I'm going to do a different thing, if I'm going to say enter a number, I'm going to enter a text. Okay, what is going to happen now? See, it is going to throw an error. So we are going to next session, we are going to talk about how to handle this kind of error. Okay. So do you want a break? Like, can we break for 5 minutes? Then we can start with the next session.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's start. Let's have a break and okay. Okay, let's start. So Abhinaya sent me a code and let me share that one. You can all see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she sent me a code that we are going to use this. So one thing here that we are trying to use the rand int, right? So what it is doing, let's see what it is doing here. But how do I get this one? Rand int. Okay, so one moment, see. Rand int, it is going to give the integer between that particular number, and rand range, it is going to give this. But what's happening with her code is it is erroring out. So we are going to fix it. The number is 43 here. The random number is like, see. So what she is trying to do is she created a input and we are going to guess the random number, and it is checking whether it is too low, too high, or it is the equal sign. So that's what it is trying. So now I enter 43 and the 43 is too low. So we are going to try again. Let's me enter 44. It is too low. So let's say, okay, 60 is also low. Okay, let's go 70. It is, so it will be between 60 and 70. Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're muted.
Yeah. What is it? Can you repeat your question? Can you repeat your question? I heard someone saying something, but I missed it. Okay, then if you don't, you're able to hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Abhinaya sent a code in the chat and she is trying this. So what she has written is, she is asking a user to guess a number between 1 to 100, and she imported the random function, and she is using the randint to generate a random. Then she's checking whether it is greater or lesser or equal to. Okay, so right now I guessed 70 and 70 is too high. It is saying it is too high. So and when I guessed 60, it says too low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess between 70 and 60. So I'm going to just guess 65. It is saying too low. So now I know my random number is between 65 and 70. Okay, so let's see. 67, it is high. So let's do one more time. 66, it is low. So it is between 66 and 67. Okay. So it is between 6 because 67 it is going as high and 66 it is giving me low. So it is somewhat between the 65 and 66, and it is, one moment, let me run it again, 66. So it is giving me an error. See, keyboard input error. It is. So what we are going to do is we are going to handle this keyboard input and interpret error by error handling. Okay. So let's do that. So for error handling, what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the
You're still
errors.
muted.
Pardon? Hello? Okay. I hear someone is talking, but I do not get what it is. Okay. So we are going to talk about the error handling here. So the error handling, it will be, so we are going to talk about the error handling. So for error handling, we are going to use the try class. So here, let's see. Okay, so what's happening here is, it is, she's checking that right if statement, but we are not using the while in order to check whether it is the right one. Every time when we are running, it is guessing a different random number. See, so we can print this one. Give me a moment. So in order to troubleshoot, we are going to run this. I'm going to guess 56 and let's see. Okay, I'm still getting the error. So we are going to fix it. Abhinaya, I think I need to get back to you later on this one. Something is not right. I need to troubleshoot and get back to you later. But it is a good segue for our error handling. So I will take it offline and talk to you. Okay. So we are going to talk about the error handling now. So the error handling is whenever we have, like, there are two types of error in Python. One is you have the syntax error, and the next one is the exception error. Syntax error is when I'm typing something wrong. Let's say let me stop this and let me delete this and add one more code, and let's see. So I'm going to say print hello. So print hello. So I have, if I'm going to run it, the syntax is right, so it is going to run. So let's say I'm going to add one more parenthesis at the end. It is going to error out and it is going to show me syntax error. So this is one kind of error that we will talk about. And then the other error we are going to talk about is the syntax is right, but something is not right within the code. So that is what we are going to talk about now. Let's say 1, 0. Let's say I'm going to print it. It is going to give me this error, 0 division error. So we are going to talk, the syntax is right. You can all see, right? The print statement is right, but it is not something wrong with the data inside. So what we are going to do is we are going to handle the error gracefully. So for that, we need this error handling, exception handling. Okay. So let's see. So for error handling, we are going to use this statement try class. So this try class, what it is going to do is it is going to try to execute it. If it is right, it will run this code. If it is not right, it will give me an exception. Okay, so let's try this. Can we try this one? Like we are just going to try with the try class. Okay, first we are going to try to get the input, and when you are getting the input, can you enter as text rather than the integer, because it is converting to int, right? Rather than the int, let's enter a alpha character. Okay, let's do that. So okay, so num1 num_to input. So what we are expecting here is getting a number, right? We are expecting to get a number. Instead of a number, if you are getting an alphanumeric, the error is going to, there will be an error. So how we are going to handle is with the try statement. See, we have the number, then except value error. So what we are saying is the user may enter not the integer, they may enter an alphanumeric character. So that's what we are going to check. Okay. Except value. So when we are expecting a value error, you're going to that code, whatever that code, when there is an error, the code is going to, the next line of code is going to execute. Okay. Enter a number. Okay. So let's run it. So except some, oh, I think this is value error except, okay, this needs to be indented. Okay, so let's say, so it is expecting an alphanumeric, but if I'm going to get an it is going to, if I'm going to run if I'm going to give a number, it is going to run fine. Let's say if I'm going to enter a character, so it is what will be the expected value now? So this program is expecting an error and it is going to handle the error. So let's click enter. So what it is saying is enter a number. It is giving the user, see, t is not a value, so you need to enter a value. Oh, there is a red line. Give me a moment. Value error. Oh, okay, got it. So the thing is, it needs to be in caps. Okay, let's run it. So I'm going to type in T again. See, it is asking user to enter a number, because what we enter is not a number. So it is throwing an error and it is asking us to handle the error. So this is the statement that you're going to use for handling the error. So the first statement is try and accept. So what will happen here? So the try, whatever that is in the try, it is going to execute first. Okay, this is going to execute first. And when the value rises, it is going to give you this options. Okay, print, you should enter a digit. So let's do one more code here. Okay. So this is one, let's do one more error here. Try. Input. Same thing. Let's do this one. Give me a moment. Enter a number. Number 1 and number 2. And what we are going to ask is we are going to divide it. Okay. We are going to ask result equal to num1 by num2. Okay. So this is what we are going to ask. Okay. Num2. Okay. Then we are going to accept. So we have a 0 division error. So we are going to do the 0 division error here. Okay. I will give you the list of errors that we can encounter and what are the error names. But for now, let's do this. Print. We enter an non-zero value. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to try this. So this is for the first one. We are going to try 2. That's good. So for the next one, we are going to try number 5. And for this number 2, I'm going to give 0. Okay. Just to make sure whether we are handling this 0 division error. Okay. So when I'm trying to enter, what it is giving you is, so it is executing this code when I try this. Okay. And when the num2 is 0, it is going to divide the num on 5 by 0 is not a valid value, right? So what we are expecting is the user may get provide 0 value and 1. And it is handling the value by raising the error message. So are you any questions on this one, like how to use the try and expect? I can show you what are the error messages or what are the error items that is expected. Give me a moment. Let me open the lecture notes. I added everything, all the error that we are going to. So these are the error. These are the list of errors we can expect. So right now, we just talked about the 0 divisor error. It is raised when the second operand of the division is 0. So we are handling the error gracefully. That's why we are adding this one. Any questions? Can you all try this? Do you want to go to the next one, or you have any questions on this one? Chat, let me see the chat. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so we
I
are
have a
good with
question.
this. Yes, go ahead.
So it says enter any number, but can you put a negative number as well, and will that work or no?
Let's try this, the first one, right? We are asking, because in integer, right? We are asking for the integer, right? So let's try that. -1, 9, 3. It works because we are just asking for the integers. So if it is not, if it is not working, you will get an error message, right? So integer, it is working. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay. So we are going to the next one. So first one, the try class, we are executing this code. If there is an exception, it is rising to this one. Okay. Next one is we have try except class. So we are going to run a code and we are expecting an error. If the error is there, it is going to run this If there is no error, it is going to run the next set of code. So let's modify this. Okay, so we have try, except, okay, and we are going to say else, print. I want this number to be printed, the result. Okay, so if nothing is wrong, it is going to print this result. Okay, and let's try this. So 5, that is the first number. So for num1, I'm going to put like 6. And num2, I'm going to put 3. So these are all valid values. When everything is valid, it is going to execute the last statement. So let me print it. So what's happening is it is executing the result. Okay. So we talked about try and except. Try and except is when the statement is going to execute, and if there is an error, the next statement will be executed. Then we talked about the try and except. So the first set of code is going to be execute, and if there is an error, it is going to rise to this error message. And if no error, the else statement will be executed. Okay, so let's go back here. So first, it is going to try to execute this code within the try block, and then it is going to execute anything. Like if there is an exception, it is going to run that exception code. If no exception, it is going to run whatever that is after else. Any question in this one? Try except class. Okay. If you don't have any question, let me go to this one. So this is a good example too. So let's say first we are going to try to print one statement. If there is an exception, it will print this one. If there is no exception, it will print this one. Okay, same thing we did here. See, we are trying this one. When there is an exception, let's say when this number is 0, let me try to just copy this. If I maybe I do that. Okay, so let me run this code alone, and I'm going to 6. And we are expecting a 0 here. We are expecting an error. So when there is an error, what it is going to do is it is going to print this one. Okay, so see, it printed. Enter a non-zero value. Let's say we can run it again. 6 and 3. Now it is going to print the result. If there is an error, the except class will be executed. If there is no error, the else class will be executed. Okay, any questions on this one? Shall we move to the next one? Okay, next. This is the user-defined function. Okay, so now we are these are like the functions that are available. These are the error we are expecting. These are the error we are expecting, and for these error we are going to handle it. Let's say it is not that kind of error that you need a custom error that you want to know. If it is like you want to build your own error message, then we can use this one. See, user defined defined function. So what we are going to do is we are going to assign a number. Okay, while true, we are going to try this one. So we are going to try we are going to get the input, and we are going to compare the input with the number. And if it is equals, then it will come here. If it is equal, it will come here. If it is less than, it will print, okay, it is too small. If it is greater than, it will say it is too high. So can you all try this one? I think, Abhinaya, I think in your code, you are missing this one. Probably that is the because you need to assign one value outside and you need to have the while loop in between. You can try that and let me know whether it works. Can you all try to define your own use of error message? Let's do together. So we are saying a number, we are assigning a number 12, okay, and we are asking the user to get the input. The second step is we are asking, we have the try statement, but this is the user defined one. It is not like what we have, what are listed here. It is user defined one. Okay, let's do that. What we are going to do is, if we are getting the input, okay, equal to input enter number. Number. And we are asking to enter the number, and if number is greater than, oh, we need the exact class, right? Okay, so here we need this exact class. Greater than underscore 5. Yes. Let's do LF. LF. Number is greater sign value. So here what you're doing is you're going to try this one. We are trying it. Then let's say when you're expecting an error, you're going to say exception. You're going to write an exception. Okay. I'm just putting a pseudocode for now. Okay. Except. So what you're going to accept. So here you're going to expect the value may be small or it may be large. So these are the exception you're going to you're anticipating. So instead of the standard error, see, these are the standard error. Instead of the standard error, we are assigning the user defined error. These are the error that you define for your own function. Okay. So this is the user defined function. First, you have your try statement, and the exceptions are arising here. If no exception is there, then you will come to this, the last statement that is going to execute. Any question on this one? Okay, so far we have seen the try class and the try except class, and we talked about the user defined function. Now we are going to use the cleaning up function using finally. So what we are going to do is, for this one, we are going to run a code that is within the try block. If there is an exception, it is going to execute the exception. And if there is no exception, the print statement will run. And even if there is exception or not exception, you will have a end statement that is finally that will run. So let's say if there is an exception, this exception will run. No exception, this will run. But if exception or not exception, this will be always running. The finally statement will always run. Let's go back and do this here. See, we have a try except else. Okay, let's do this one more time. Okay, so what we are going to add here is finally. That is the class we are going to add, and we are saying to print end of code. Even if it is exception or not exception, this statement will be running. Okay, let's run it. So let's say it is going to, let's say it is number 6 and number 3. So now this is going to be a valid value. So what will happen is this statement will run, right? This print statement will run. And along with it, you will get this one too. So let's try this. Oh, sorry. One moment. That statement was missing. One moment. So this will be always running. See, the finally will always run. Let's try again. So now I'm going to give a 0 value. Okay. So what will happen? This will skip. The else statement will skip, but it will print the print statement, this last statement. Okay. So let's click enter. See, end of the code, because it is handling, there is an error and it is handling the error and it is printing the code. So are you good with this one? So first we are going to, anytime when we see try, whatever that is in the try statement will run. And if there is an exception, this exception will run. And if there is a no exception, the else statement will run. And finally will run for anything, any case, any scenario, the finally will run. Okay. Any questions on this one? This method of handling the error? Is it clear? Like can you see the difference between all three? Like when you're just using try and except. So when you're try and except, it is just going to give you the code and the except. And when you're going to have the try except else, so this is the code for run and this is an exception. And if there is no exception, this will happen. And here This is the code to run, and the exception will handle the here, and else statement will be here. And in any scenario, whether the code fails or pass, the finally will run always. So let me show the code again here. Here is the code. So we are trying the first one. And if there is an exception, this is going to happen. If there is no exception, you will have this one. And finally will be executed even if you have an exception or not an exception. Any questions on this one? Oh, PowerPoint slide 16, number 16. One moment, give me a moment. So 16. So this is the user-defined one. Okay, can you all, so this PowerPoint, it will be published along with the lecture notes. So don't worry about it. It will be there for you. So any questions on this one? So we started with the error handling. The error handling, we talk about the try class and try except class and the try except and finally class. Any questions on this one? Okay, I think one thing I missed is the Numpy. If you have time, let's do the Numpy. Okay, so this Numpy we will be handling in the next semester. And this is really a great tool to do the data analysis with the charting. So try to import. See, we are going to import two items, NumPy and Matplot Live and PyPlot. Then we are, let's say there is array that you can use to plot. Okay, let me see whether it is going to work in the collab. Otherwise, we'll do new code. No, it's not working. Let's do the new code. So what we are going to do is we are going to import. You might have already heard about the NumPy, right? NumPy. So why we are using NP as, see, the reason why we are using alias is it is easy to just use NP rather than typing NumPy every time. Okay, that's why we are using NP. Okay, here, then import. So I need Matplotlib as, what's the name I used here? Let me go here. Oh, PyPlot. I need PyPlot. PyPlot as see this one. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an array and I'm going to call the NP and we are going to plot it. I need your help in creating an array. Can you also, I'm going to ask you a few questions and we will do that, okay? A is equal to NP dot array. Okay, so I need your help here. Okay, let's do that. B is equal to NP dot array. Then we are going to plot it. We are going to plot A and plot B. Okay. Plot A. Just hang on for a few minutes. We are going to work together on this. I'm just getting my skeleton ready for this one. Okay. And plot show. So I'm going to have some arrays here. So I'm going to plot it. Okay, something is not right. Let's see what's happening. This could be np.array. Okay, I need the list. Okay. Because it is a list, I need this one. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what's happening? Invalid syntax. Okay, got it. This one. Okay. So what we are going to, we have a two graph, right? So this is the NumPy that we can use for charting needs, all your charting needs. We are going to import it and import the MATLAB also in order to chart it. So I need your help here. What we are going to do is we are going to, can you all type your like your grade first, grade and your age in the chat. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to yeah, can you type your age? Yeah, grade and the age. Yeah, so I got 9 and I got 13. So next one is 10 and 15.
I just want to clarify.
Yes.
So if we're importing importing Numpy, can we also import it as NP?
Yeah, MP. That's what we did, right? MP.
Okay.
As MP. NumPy as MP.
Okay.
So it is easy. Otherwise, we need to, if you're not using as MP, every time you need to type NumPy everywhere, whenever we are going to. So this is what we are doing is alias. Like
And
we are, yeah. Go ahead.
For the matplotlib, do we have to can we also put that as PLT?
It is, you don't need it if you're not going to do it every time. Here you need to type, instead of PLT, you need to type matplotlab.pyplot. Okay. So what it is like a nickname. You're giving a nickname to it, so it is easy for you to call later on. Instead of calling the whole thing, we are using the as, right? It is just giving us a nickname. You are giving a nickname to it.
So the as is also another. It's a comparison, correct? Yeah.
We are saying NumPy as MP. So instead of it's telling your whole full name, you are using a nickname. So it is easy to call it in the later function. It a lot of typing, right? If you're just using matplotlib by pyplot, it is a lot of typing. So we are not going to do all the typing. So I'm going to get 2 more set of data. 7 and 12. Okay, and here I'm going to get 8 and 13. Okay, 8, 13. Okay, 7 and 12. Okay, 7 and 12. So what we are going to do is we are going to plot this. So we have this A is your grade and B is your age. Okay, let's do that. So see your grade and age. So the plotting this plotting is, we can import the NumPy and do all the kind of charts. If you are using, you are familiar with some types of charts, right? Bar charts, line chart. So it is a great tool to import and play with it when you're charting it. And here you have good array function. See, you can concatenate both. You can concatenate or slice it or arrange it, min, max, for NumPy, you can do a lot of stuff. Okay, so equal to np dot array. So array, you're going to use array and you're going to arrange it. Okay, let's say array dot. So you can arrange it, or you can do like a slicing, min, max of anything. So let's do that here. One moment. NumPy. Okay. So this is the menu. So you have all these functions available for NumPy. In NumPy, you can do multiple steps. See, you can, if you want, like if you want to change into a matrix, you can change into a matrix, or if you want to find the what do you call? If you want to find what is common between them, like your set functions, whatever that you can use it here. Okay, so that's about NumPy. So all these, this NumPy, Panda, and all the libraries, we will be learning everything in the next semester. I just want to give you a flavor of it. Okay, so just to recap what we did today is we started with our all the functions. We all the functions that we can import. We imported the math function, datetime, and the ran function, and I showed you the NumPy. So we started with playing with all the library functions, and then we explored to the error handling. And in error handling, we have like a try statement, and in the try statement we have like a few this one. In the try statement, we talked about try and except, and try, except, and else. Then we talked about try, except, else, and finally. So these are the items we talked today. Any questions or any items you want to clarify before we move to other our quiz and homework? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, let's go to the quiz. Let me download the result first. Give me a moment. Let me log in and download the result. Then we'll go from there. Give me a moment. How is the quiz? How can you give me a feedback? How did you feel about quiz today? Was it easy, or like how did you feel? Medium, okay. Okay, I'm getting chat. Okay. So any questions, or you are not do you have anything before like you want to add any other comment before we do the quiz, we start the quiz? And I just want to congratulate Parnil Shamal and Bjornjan for getting the 100% on the quiz. Let me ping the names. Good work, both of you. And do we have any other percentage? Give me a moment. Let me check that. And Sri Manya. Good work. So these 3 people got full mark on the quiz, and congratulations to them. And we will start working on the quiz now. Let me share the quiz and we will. Okay. Can you all see the quiz? Okay. So let's start with this one. So the first question is asking about the design technique that reduce the code reuse. So what we are doing, when we're using the function, why we are using the function? We want to reduce the duplicates. So can you answer what is the answer for this one, the first one? You can type or you can ping in the chat. Yeah, A is right. So we are going to the function, why we are, to avoid the duplicate, we are using the code. We can use the code reuse. We can reuse it. Let's say if someone is building a block of code that I can use it for my program, I can call that function, same function. So by calling the same function or reusing the same function, we are avoiding any duplication. Okay, so what do you need to do? The second question, in order to execute a function, what you need to do it? What is the answer for the second question? So in order to execute a function, you need to, yes, that's right, call. Yeah, you need to call it, that's right. So defining a function and calling a function is a different job. So you need to call the function in order to execute it. Okay, next one. This is the third question. This is a variable that is created inside a function. So which variable is just that is inside a function? So if you're creating a local variable, that's right. Yeah, it is local variable. You're right. So next one is a piece of data that is sent into a function. You're sending something into the function.
An argument?
Argument, yeah, exactly. It's an argument. When you're sending a piece of data into a function, it is an argument. When a variable is receiving a piece of data, that is a parameter. Okay, so argument is a piece of data that you're sending into it, and where it is assigned is parameter. So the fifth, for question number 5, the answer is parameter. Okay, then number 6, a variable that is visible to every function in the program file. What is the answer for number 6? So local variable is only visible for within the function. Okay, which one is the available for every function? Someone, yeah, global function. Yeah, that's right. So for number 4, Abhinaya, the answer is the argument. Argument is a piece of data that is sent into a function. Okay. Any questions until number 6? Okay, let's go to number 7. What is answer for number 1? One moment, give me a moment. Let's go back to number 1. Number 1 is code reuse. So in order to avoid the duplication, we are using the code. We are reusing the function. So that is called code reuse. Okay. Then we are in number 7. Number 7. So when possible, you should avoid using this variable in the program. Which variable you need to avoid?
Local?
Yeah, global. Because the global, if you're assigning a global variable, the global variable can be it can be changed within other function. So when you're using the global variable, it is really hard to debug. So you need to avoid using the global variables. Okay, number 8. Function makes it easier for programmers to work in teams. Is it true or false?
True.
It's not false, because by functions you are assigning, yeah, true is the right answer. With the function, you can assign various tasks to various teams. Let's say you are working on a big project. You can divide the whole project into various subtasks, right? And you can assign that subtask to various teams, and they can create a function, and that function can be reused, and that will help the programmer life easier, and it is helpful when they are working in a team. So functions is easier. For the teamwork, functions is really a great way to go. And number 9, function name should be as short as possible, as short as possible. Do you want a short function, short name, or a descriptive name?
I think it's false.
Yeah, I think it's false.
Yeah, it is false, because the function, you need to have a descriptive name. So when someone else coming and reading the program, they will be able to understand. If you're just using a short name, they may not be able to understand. So function name will always have a verb in it. So it will ask, okay, call this one, or it will tell, okay, add. So the function needs to be descriptive as possible, so anyone can read and tell what a function is going to do. And the 10th question, the final question. Calling a function and defining a function meaning the same thing. Is it true or false?
False.
Yeah, false. Because you need to define the function and then you need to call it again. Otherwise, the function will not work. So defining and calling are two different things. So everybody did a great job on the quiz. Congratulations and thank you. And let's go to the homework.
Oh, wait, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But if the function name is too long, won't it become a bit confusing?
Yeah, if it is too long, it is confusing. If it is too short, it is also confusing. So it needs to be descriptive as possible. You're right. It cannot be too long, because if it is too long, you need to call it multiple times. Then it is going to be headache for you. So it cannot be too long. It cannot be too short. It needs to be descriptive as possible. It needs to define what you are doing, what the programmer is intend to do. It needs, the name needs to resemble that.
Oh, okay.
That's a good call out. Yeah. Any questions? Here, the question is asking, it needs to be whether as short as possible. So it cannot be short. That's what it is. The answer is, it needs to be descriptive.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Thank you.
Yeah, you get it? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the homework. Let me open the homework. And for session 5, this is going to be your homework. Okay. The first one is, we all learned about the functions, right? How you're going to input the random and map function. So use the random function and the map function. You are going to generate a program to generate a random number. Okay. And you need to count how many of those are random or like even or odd. Okay. So you're going to create a function to generate a random number, and you need to count how many of those are random or even. You can generate, let's say you're generating 100 random numbers. Okay. You're generating 100 random numbers, and out of 100 random numbers, you're going to count how many are odd or even. Any questions on the first one? You can do it, right? Like what you can do, you're going to import the random function, then you're going to generate 100 random numbers, and out of 100 random numbers, you are going to count how many are even, how many are odd. Okay. So for finding odd and even, what logic you can use?
If the number is divisible by 2.
Divisible by 2, yeah. Yeah, divisible by 2. If the modulus, like if there is a reminder when you're dividing by 2, it is going to be odd, and the vice versa. So you're going to use that logic and count it out of 100. How many are odd or even? Okay, that is
Wait,
the
I have a
first question. Yeah, go ahead.
So if how do we generate 100 numbers? Like if it's like, so for example, if we do like rand in, it'll give
Uh-huh.
us like one number, and we can calculate if that number is even or odd. But if
Okay.
it's like, how would you like add like use like get like multiple numbers?
Yes, that's why I want you to research. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
okay.
gave you the random. See, you have the random, right? See, you have the random, and this link will be in the PowerPoint. So you're going to check which function you can use in order to generate 100 random numbers. Okay,
Okay, got it.
got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, good job. So that's what we are going to do. And then I think, where is my homework? Give me a moment. Oh, homework. Okay, so the second question is little different. Okay, so this one you're going to generate a random number between 1 and 25. And you're going to ask a user to guess the number. This is the guessing game. Okay, this is just like I gave the user defined function I was showing you. So you're going to create you're importing a random number, and you're going to generate a random number that is one number between 1 and 25, and you're going to ask the user to input a number. Then you're going to compare it whether the user given number is the random number that is already generated. If it is there, you're going to say congratulations. If it is not, you're going to give them options. Okay, too low, try again, or too high, try again. And they are going to do multiple guesses. So you are going to write this program, and then one more enhancement you can do, you can count like within how many guesses they guess the random number right. Okay, that's an optional enhancement. So here I want you to use the error handling function. Let's say if the user is inputting a text, I want you to handle the error message like saying this one, right? We were working on the PowerPoint. Where is my PowerPoint? Here. See, if it is a text, you're going to use this one. Okay, you should enter the digits, the value error. So you're going to incorporate the error handling in this homework. Okay, got it? The second one. Any questions on the second one? Okay, let's go to the third one. So third one is you're going to create a sample cafe menu. Okay, like you have like 4 or 5 items in your menu, and you're going to first, when the user comes in, you're going to display the options. These are the available options. Then you're going to ask them which number you would like to order. So if the user said 2, you're going to display a message, okay, 1 pasta and meat sauce is coming right now. Okay, if the user chose the number that is not within this list, you need to say, sorry, this is not a valid choice. So this is an example. You can come up with your own list. Okay, you can come up with your own list of menus. Whatever you want to eat, you can just keep it in your menu, and you can ask the user to choose the menu item. So the user is going to just choose the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever the number you're going to give. Okay, based on the number, then you're going to display, okay, you ordered pasta and meat sauce. So you're going to, when the output is coming, it needs to be meaningful to the user. Okay, you cannot say, okay, your order number 2 is coming up. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see what is in the order. Okay, any questions on this one? Yes, you're using error handling for question 2 and question 3 both. You're going to use error handling. Any questions? Do you think it's doable or it is too complicated?
I think it's doable.
Okay, good. So when you are doing, so one thing we are again noticing is the collab link is not working. So when you are sharing the collab link, just share with anyone. So I added the screenshot. Let's go to the collab and I will show you how to view this. So can you all see my collab, right? Can you all see this share button?
Yes.
So click on the share. When you click on the share, the options will come here, okay? And I want anyone on the internet with the link can view. This is the option I want you to choose, okay? And copy the link, okay? Anyone with the link and view it. And anyone with the link, I don't want you to like ask anyone to edit. Okay, I want anyone with the link to view. So most of you are doing good, but we are still having issues with getting the collab link correctly. So please help us. That will help for us to correct the homework on a timely fashion. Otherwise, we are like struggling. We are sending an email. We are asking your permission to get this one. So please do this. So I'm going to show again. So in your collab link on your right corner, share. And in the share, you're going to choose this option. Anyone on the internet with the link can view. So you're going to copy the link and send it to your homework. Okay. So any questions on the collab?
No.
Okay. And one more thing I want you to do is, let's say if the question is asking, I have some feedback from our last session. Let me get that one. Give me a moment. Okay. This is the last session homework. So the last session homework is, it is asking to write a function to accept two integer values as argument and return it. So you're going to use a function that prompt the user to enter the values, right? You're not supposed to pass the argument. You're asking the user to enter two values and you're going to compare. In many of your programs, I have seen that you just pass the values and it just came, it was comparing. You did not ask for the user input. So, and the same case here also. So this one, it prompts the user to enter, right? That is here. So you need to ask the user to enter a number and you need to check whether it is a prime number or not. Okay, so please read the question carefully and answer that in the full whole thing. If you are asking for the user input, you need to get the user input. You cannot pass the value within the function, right? So read what it is asked and do what you need to cover everything. Okay, got it? Any questions?
No.
Like we discussed for today also, we have this. So try to complete it and as you we have like few people who really did well on the homework. Let me get that one. Give me one moment. Let me get that, and I want to recognize them. You all received your homework score, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. And I see like couple of people maybe accidentally they submitted last session homework for this session. So make sure when you're uploading, you're not uploading for you're uploading for the correct session. Okay, just make sure you're getting that one. So let me get the names here. And homework, 21 people submitted. Out of 21 people submitted, we have let me ping you the names here. Okay. I'm going to send the names in the chat. Let me give you the names. So these are the people who did really good, like they got 100%. But out of this, I want to comment Parnil, Varsha, and Eddie, and Frederick. So not Frederick, Elric fan. Yeah. So all of you did really a fantastic job. And whenever we are looking at your homework, we know what we need to look at. You have your output, your code, your whatever the values that what the input also along with the collab code. So please add everything that will and also add the comments whenever you're looking at any any work. I want you to add the comment thoroughly. Without the comment, it is hard for anyone to read, right? You need to add the comment, and with the comment only, it is easy for anyone. Or even if you're coming after like 1 or 2 weeks, if you're going to look into your program, you need to have your comments. Otherwise, it is really hard for you to troubleshoot, and it will you'll have headaches because we are working in the real time, and all those comments are the thing that we rely on mostly. So it's a good practice to add all the comments. It is an extra work, I agree, but please add the comments. Hang on for a moment. Okay, Abhinaya, you don't have the grade. Let me check that one. So you don't have the grade for session 3 or session 4? Which one you don't have the grade? Okay. I'll check on that one and give you that. And yeah. So this is one of the sample I want to give you. This is Elric Fan's work. So what he has given us, like he has the collab link on the top, and he has the question, and so he has this all the comments that he's writing, and he's giving the input and the output. See, input and output is here for question number 2, the same thing. And sometimes when we are clicking on the collab link, we are not able to get to the collab link because you might have like moved it, or you might have like resaved with the something else. So I highly recommend you to rename your collab link and do not edit it after you submit. So it is there for us. Okay. So any other questions or any other thing you want to cover? Yes, we will be posting this in YouTube. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Any other questions? If you don't have any questions, I think, yeah, we can wrap the class and see you next week. Try to complete your homework before Thursday, October 19th. Sorry, Tuesday, October 19th. That is the due date. Okay.
Bye. Have a great
Okay,
day.
have a nice long weekend and hope, I'm not sure not everyone has a long weekend, but if you have a long weekend, enjoy your long weekend and we will talk to you next session. Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, you can email info@agoramatrico.org or comment below and we'll reply back. Maybe. And if you want to see practice things or anything about us, you can visit our website, which is basically the end of the email but without the info and the end. So bye!